My wife called me just a roommate to her friends, so I made her pay like one and now she is begging. I came home early from work last Tuesday because my boss let us out at noon. Some pipe burst in the building and they had to shut down the whole office. I walked in through the garage and heard my wife Lisa on the phone in the living room. She was laughing really loud, the way she does when she's talking to her college friends. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but our apartment isn't that big. I heard her friend ask about our anniversary coming up. Lisa just laughed and said, "Girl, please, we're basically roommates at this point. He pays half the bills and I pay half the bills. That's pretty much the extent of our relationship." Her friend said something I couldn't hear, and Lisa replied, "No, seriously, we don't even sleep in the same bed most nights. He falls asleep on the couch watching his stupid sports. It's like living with a brother who helps with rent." My stomach completely dropped. We'd been married for 4 years. Sure, things had gotten a bit routine, but I thought we were fine. I worked 50 hours a week as an accountant to help pay for the townhouse she wanted. I picked up groceries every Thursday. I fixed things when they broke. Apparently, that made me a roommate. I didn't say anything that night, just acted normal, but I couldn't stop thinking about what she said. The next morning, I called my buddy Derek, who's a lawyer, asked him hypothetically what roommates pay versus married couples. He told me roommates split everything exactly down the middle and don't share expenses beyond rent and utilities. That gave me an idea. On Thursday, I sat Lisa down at the kitchen table with a spreadsheet I'd made at work. She looked confused when I opened my laptop. I told her I'd been thinking about our finances and wanted to make things more fair. She smiled and said that sounded good, probably thinking I was going to suggest she pay less or something. I pulled up the spreadsheet showing every single expense from the last 3 months. Her car payment that I'd been covering because her teaching salary was tight. The $200 a month for her gym membership that she said was essential. The streaming services she picked that I never watched. Her student loan payment that I'd been helping with. The groceries I bought every week that somehow cost $800 a month because she only wanted organic everything. I'd been paying about 70% of our total expenses while she paid 30%. Lisa just stared at the screen. I told her since we're basically roommates according to her, we should split everything exactly 50-50 like roommates do. That meant she needed to start covering her own car payment, her own gym, her own loans, and half the groceries starting immediately. Her face went white. She tried to laugh it off, asking what I was talking about. I pulled out my phone and played the recording. Yeah, I'd recorded her phone conversation that Tuesday. Not my proudest moment, but I needed proof. Her voice came through crystal clear talking about how we were basically roommates who split bills. Lisa's hands started shaking. She tried to explain that she was just venting to her friends, that she didn't mean it like that. I asked her which part she didn't mean, the roommate part or the part where our relationship was just about paying bills. She couldn't answer. I told her I'd already set up a separate checking account. From now on, I'd pay exactly half of rent and utilities. Everything else was on her own dime. She started crying, saying she couldn't afford all her expenses on her teacher salary. That's literally why I'd been helping. I just looked at her and said roommates don't subsidize each other's lifestyles. The first month was brutal. Lisa had to cancel her gym membership, had to start buying regular groceries instead of the expensive organic stuff. Her student loan went into deferment because she couldn't make the payments. She stopped getting her nails done every 2 weeks, stopped going out for lunch with her teacher friends. Meanwhile, I was saving about $1,500 a month, started putting it into a separate savings account, bought myself a new TV for the bedroom, upgraded my computer setup, joined a woodworking class I'd always wanted to take. Lisa kept trying to talk to me about it, but I just remind her that roommates don't really discuss personal finances beyond shared bills. By month 2, she was begging, said she made a huge mistake and didn't appreciate what I was doing for us, that she was just being stupid on the phone trying to sound cool to her friends. I told her that's great, but roommates don't really need to have those conversations. Last week she completely broke down, said she couldn't keep living like this and needed her partner back, not a roommate. I finally looked at her and said, "So now I'm your partner?" 2 weeks ago I was just some guy who helped with rent. She admitted she'd been taking me for granted and taking advantage of my income. She promised things would be different if I'd go back to how things were. I told her we could try marriage counseling, but the 50-50 split stays until I see real change. Not just words, actions. She agreed immediately. We start therapy next Tuesday. The separate checking account stays open though, just in case.